following account is 18 plus and for mature audiences only. While these videos feature comics that include colorful characters and funny voices that children would find entertaining, sometimes they will have mature themes including saucy comedy and innuendos, censored nudity, violence, and a lot of adult language. If you are a minor, please click off and watch something else. Otherwise, enjoy the video. Hello everyone, returning viewers and new ones. This isn't how I normally edit my videos, but I wanted the editing process for this to be easy for me to work with. For new viewers, I'm MoonheartVA. I've been making content for the internet for roughly 14 years. That's almost half my life. At the time of recording this, I'm 25. And this is my first ever Q&A I've ever done. I voice act, I draw, make voice impressions, draw dops, all the good stuff. I asked for questions on the platforms I'm most active on, and got a few responses. I know that the start of the video looked pretty different. I'll go into detail about that, including updates at the end. So without any further wait, you're welcome to pop this video in the background and do your homework, work on, work, do your side hustle, whatever it is you have, and I'll answer your undying questions. Woogity boogity! And we'll start with Instagram. Will there be another video like the chunk video? I really hope so. It depends if the original artist is okay with me doing more. The artist behind that comic is Pink Feral. I'll link their profile in the description. And we have two from Blue Sky. Let's see. Maybe, what made you want to start voice acting? What inspired you to do it? Something like that. Also, as a fellow Moonheart, I'd like to know, how did you come up with your nickname? For added context, the person who asked this was Malika Moonheart? If I pronounced your name wrong, I'm really sorry. I took an interest in voice acting in mid to late 2019. My at-the-time boyfriend had been very notorious for doing voice impressions of anime characters and voice calls. I think his most notable one was a character from Black Butler. He also told me that he voiced in a mod for a video game. If I can recall, it was Skyrim? More of that, and along with inspirations like PM Seymour and Oz Media, is when it started to pique my interest. I was struggling at that time with what I wanted to do with my content and with my life in general, so I decided to send in a few auditions and give it a shot. I'd say it's been working out pretty well so far. As for how I came up with the name Moonheart, I was a Warrior Cats kid, and they started as my Warrior Cats OC. And before I get any more questions about it, yes, they started out as one of the Mary Sue type characters. I originally had them pining for Gray Stripe, because I thought if I had them pining for Firestar, it would have been too on the nose. Let's see. Favorite ship and or villain in MLP. I don't have a favorite ship, so to speak, but my favorite villain has always been Queen Chrysalis. I am so glad she actually didn't get a redemption in the official show. I think I'm more of a fan of the redemption arcs she got through fan interpretations. Moving on next to TikTok. You sound like that one kid who would advertise his SMP on TikTok. I'm not entirely sure who you're referring to, but that's cool. Good for them. What do you think of boy bands, and if you had to make a hybrid out of two animals, what would it be? I don't have any opinions on boy bands. I wasn't super into them growing up, or like right now. But for animal hybrids, possum and an opossum. They're two different animals. I'll actually pop up an image of them on screen. The opossum is found in the US and has the fun appearance we're all familiar with. And the possum, on the other hand, looks like, this. They're found all throughout Australia, bigger eyes, bigger around her ears, and a smaller face. There's a few more differences with them, but I thought I'd just point out the obvious. If you're interested in learning more about them, I'd encourage you to look them up on your own time. Can you draw your character in overalls, a propeller hat, and hold a lollipop? I don't take drawing requests. I know that asking for them is fun, but I'd prefer to be paid for my artwork. If you want to have something that I've worked on, like a voice clip, art piece, even a character, I will happily take a commission that you want me to work on. And if anyone is interested, I actually am open for commissions right now. I have slots on my Ko-fi. I won't take up too much time jabbering about this in this section, but if you want to commission me, I would greatly appreciate it. I don't make any money off these videos, so supporting me directly is the way to go. Money goes towards my rent, food, and transportation. And that was it for TikTok. Time to move to YouTube. Which dinosaur is your favorite? Also, which Hotline Miami game do you think is better? I would say the Iguanodon, because that's the only one I really remember learning about as a kid. You know, besides the obvious, like T-Rexes and all that jazz. And I've never played Hotline Miami, but my friend Captain Dolph has, so I asked him. He likes the first one. Have you heard of / played Dungeons & Dragons or any other TTRPG? If so, do you have a favorite character, class, and or race? I've had my fair share of D&D in the past. I don't have a favorite, but the first and only character I played as was a Tabaxi? Warlock? Witch? I don't remember the term, but she made a pact with a demon. Is it really that surprising that I would play as a Tabaxi? What prompted you to change your username from Cake Slime to Moonheart? Yeah, the change from Cake to Moon. To be honest, even when I changed my username to Cake Slime, I never liked how it sounded. It never gave that oomph factor that a lot of my old usernames did. Originally, I started as Moon for the longest time. Like, when I was like teenager levels, longest time. And then I rebranded to Cake and Rose VA. And then to Cake Slime to fit more with my mascots. And to be frank, the more I stayed like that, the more I wasn't able to recognize myself. It honestly had started to feel like I had become a stranger to my own presence in kind of a weird way. Like, weirdly online and also in person. I hadn't been Moon since I was a fresh adult, and returning to this has given me the fresh air and the true how I wanted to present factor my content spaces needed. What's your favorite VA project you've been a part of so far? Not really a project, but the Smiling Friends video my friend Zephyr and I worked on together. We were in a call while he was editing it, and every time it got to the help her to deliver the baby's part, I kept losing it. I was wheezing. He also worked on another video for me that is also on YouTube, but it's not available publicly to watch. If you can find the link on Blue Sky, then have at it, but it's under tight restrictions. My pages say minors do not interact for that reason, by the way. What are some of your favorite bands / music genres? Ooh, now this is one I've been waiting to answer. I can't play the music in the background because I don't want the video to be copyrighted. To be quite frank, I don't even know if the music that I'm going to be listing is copyrighted, but just for like, double being sure, I'll just link it in the description. My genre taste is pretty indifferent. I'm okay with listening to pretty much anything except for country. There is the rare exception to certain country songs, but it is very, very rare. My two favorite groups to listen to are LuLuYam and Skeleton Staff. Now, Lulu I have been listening to for about a year, maybe 2 years, but I have been so hooked. My mom actually asked me the other day what her genre of music was, And apparently it's like a big jumbled smoothie of genres that she meshed together to create her own customized genre called Nightmare Pop. I love it. I genuinely do. I love it. My favorite song from her is Skin and Bones. It was her Valentine's Day song from this year. She makes a custom visualizer for every new release, along with lyrics to go with it. She does all the art, all the editing. It is so good. Skeleton Staff is a recent addition as well. My friend DJ Squirrel got me into them after I watched their I Told You I Was Poor music video. The unique designs and the animation was a huge factor for pulling me in. It's basically kinda like Gorillaz, but without all of the 3D elements. Their I Told You I Was Poor music video is actually one of their first music videos that they released, and that was done with traditional, like, pencil to paper type animation. Again, these are going to be linked in the description, so I would encourage you guys to check them out. They are very good. What bands would you love to see in concert? This answer is also LuLuYam. And as of the release of this video, she's actually planning on going on a tour. I don't remember the dates, but she's posted to her socials that you can buy tickets. I won't be able to go myself, but if any of my viewers that are also fans of hers and have the means to go to one of her shows, go to her show. Go support her stuff. Please take photos. Have a good time. Please, go have a good time at her concert. Why did the chicken cross the road? I think he left his oven on. Wait. He left the oven on? MLP Infection AU voice acting when? There is actually one I want to voice, but I'm a bit worried it might be a little much for the audience. And for you two as a whole, to be honest. It's the one by Lord of the Feathers over on Instagram. I believe it's supposed to be based on, like, I can't remember the name of the game off the top of my head, but it's supposed to be one of those, like, zombie video games. It's very good. I would recommend giving it a look if you can. Most and least favorite fandoms. I'll be honest, every fandom will have its pretty sides and its ugly sides. I don't have a favorite and I don't have a least favorite. I'm not terribly fond of Hazbin Hotel, but I know a few people who do enjoy it. I'm, for one, am happy that an AI channel got taken down recently. That's a huge win for the voice actors. I like the furry fandom, but I know that there are some people who aren't terribly keen on it either. Everything is different with different people. In the MLP Actor AU, who are the actors of all the villains in FIM? And did Discord play himself? Does G5 exist in said Actor AU? I'm assuming this is about that one MLP video I made. I think it's probably the most popular short I have on my channel. I will clarify here, again, I've said in the description and in the comments, I did not make that comic. I am not the original artist. Unless if I state otherwise, all of the videos that I voice over are not works that I have made myself. I am voicing other people's work that they have given me permission to do. The original artist is credited in the description of that video, so go check out what they make. I haven't made any other MLP AU stuff in a while. I think it's actually been like a few months. So all of that is entirely up to your own interpretation unless the artist states otherwise. A while back I did actually make some sketches for my own MLP AU. So if you all would be interested in me making a video about it, where I talk about it, or like do like a live thing, let me know. I would actually be pretty interested in that. And that was the last question. I had a fun time doing this. Thank you all so much for submitting your questions. I'd like to do something like this again in the future, maybe in like a few years or so. While I have done my best to post every other day, to maybe narrowing it down to once a week, that is going to change again. My uploads aren't going anywhere, but they'll become a less priority. Just more of a if I feel like it type thing. Going forward, I'm going to try and put more of my attention and focus into commission work. As I stated earlier, I don't make any money from any videos that I post. This includes YouTube and TikTok. So, since I don't get payment from these videos, it makes it difficult for me to keep myself afloat for motivation. I do have some things voiced already, including a very ambitious project that is entirely drawn by me. That one I'm actually very excited for you guys to see. Another thing that's factoring into this is the amount of children that continue to follow my pages. All of my social medias have the 18+ minors don't interact, everything here is safe for work but very suggestive. This is not for you. The beginning of all of my videos will now be containing a disclaimer just like the one at the beginning of this. And this will even include the videos that don't have those themes. My page is only for adults. It always has been, and that's how it will continue to stay. All that aside, if you find yourself wanting more of Moon and my content, all of my current active socials are linked in the card below. You have the usual Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, all that jazz. Then that wraps it up. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!